Can you explain to me the role that that chain plays in all of that? Feeling good and...
It's crazy you say that because this chain actually was my brother Young Dolph's chain. He ordered it before he passed. So he wasn't physically here to buy it, so I bought it for him.
And that's a part of him with you, essentially.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really special.
Yeah, most definitely.
You do say on the album, I'm rocking blue diamonds, don't I remind you of Dolph?
Yeah, you heard it.
A voice on a recording. Y'all want to be in everything but a casket. Why ain't nobody talking about the shootout at Key Glock's release party last night? And whatever Glock was saying on that album, that had to be top secret, G14 classified. That's the clip. That's the voice the streets are putting Hernandez Gone's name on. The same Hernandez Gone who walked out of a Memphis courtroom not guilty in the murder of young Dolph. And the reason that 15 seconds of audio has Memphis and the whole culture sitting up straight has nothing to do with a confirmed body count and everything to do with who's asking. Before anything else, keeping it 100 with you. As of this video, there is no police report, no Memphis PD statement, and no news outlet confirming anyone was shot at Glock's event. The clip is real. The man is real. The history behind him is real and documented and bloody. The shooting itself is unconfirmed. That matters. I'm not selling you a story I can't stand on. To understand why 15 seconds from this specific man shakes an entire culture, you have to go back to November 17th, 2021. Young Dolph, Adolph Thornton Jr., was the Memphis legend who turned down every major deal that came knocking because he wanted to own himself. Paper Route Empire was his proof of concept. A Memphis artist could go independent, stack plaques, sell out arenas, and keep everything off his own catalog. No major puppet strings. A whole generation of Memphis kids watched him do it and learned what freedom looked like. On that November afternoon, Dolph wasn't on tour. He was home at Makita's Homemade Cookies, a little bakery in his old neighborhood. The kind of spot a man only goes when he feels safe. Two men walked up and turned that storefront into a crime scene in broad daylight. Key Glock, real name Marquise Cathy, wasn't just some artist Dolph had signed. That was his cousin, his mentor. Dolph brought him into Paper Route Empire in 2017 and handed him the blueprint. They made joint tapes together, toured together, were under the same roof for months at a time. When Dolph died, Glock didn't just lose a boss. He lost the closest thing he had to a big brother. He went silent, couldn't record, had to sit in the grief and let time do what time does. And then he had to pick up and carry everything Dolph left behind, mourn his cousin and run his cousin's empire at the same time. That's a pressure most people will never understand. Glock has been carrying it in public with the whole world watching. He's not performing pain. He's living in it while building an empire his murdered cousin left behind. Now here's where Hernandez Gone walks onto the stage. The investigation moved fast in some directions and slow in others. The shooters were handled. Justin Johnson, known as Straight Drop, was convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy, sentenced to life plus 35 years. His appeal was denied. He's not coming home. Cornelius Smith Jr., the other man who admitted he was in that car, flipped and became the state's star witness. This past May 2026, Smith took a plea, copped to second-degree murder, and got 20 years for cooperating. A third man, Jermarcus Johnson, took a plea as an accomplice. The trigger end of this thing, all accounted for. But the streets in that courtroom both knew the shooters were the bottom of the pyramid. The real question was, who sent them? Who paid? Who pointed? That question landed on two names sitting much higher up the food chain: Anthony Mims, Big Juke, Yo Gotti's brother. Court testimony alleged Big Juke ordered and financed the hit, rooted in a rivalry that went back years. Dolph refusing to sign with Gotti's camp, choosing independence, and that no festering into something deadly. Big Juke never saw a courtroom for it. In January 2024, he was shot and killed outside a Memphis restaurant, gunned down before the law could touch him. The alleged money man erased from the board, which left Hernandez Gone, the alleged middleman, the connector. The state's theory was that Gone, known in the streets as Quet, orchestrated the logistics for $10,000, connecting Big Juke's alleged order to the shooters who carried it out. First-degree murder. Conspiracy. The charges that bury a man for life. The trial came in August 2025. The prosecution put up 8 witnesses. Dolph's sister, his head of security, the lead investigator, digital forensics, phone records showing Ghosn in contact with the shooters after the murder. A white Mercedes tied to the killing found at an abandoned house across the street from Ghosn's Bradley Street address. A music video still showing Ghosn in that same driveway, and Cornelius Smith himself on the stand directly tying Ghosn to the conspiracy. Smith's own girlfriend had told police. Quet set this up. The defense, led by attorney Manny Aurora, dismantled it. Their argument centered on Smith that he was a cooperating witness, saving his own neck, willing to name anybody as a fall guy to shrink his sentence. And they had receipts. Smith's story had shifted over time, naming different people in different versions. The phone contact between Smith and Ghosn? Aurora argued they had a pre-existing drug-by-buying relationship. Those talking wasn't proof of murder. The Mercedes across the street? Someone else connected to the case lived on that same block. The jury, 12 people from Shelby County, deliberated for 3 hours. 3 hours. Not guilty on murder, not guilty on conspiracy. Ghosn wiped away tears in that courtroom and told the cameras he knew in his heart he was innocent and he was just happy to be free. The jury foreman went on television afterward and said the star witness kept contradicting himself and a case built on that foundation maybe never should have gone to trial. Key Glock's response was 4 words posted to social media: "My city failed," then deleted. But the internet never forgets. That screenshot lives forever. He didn't name anyone, didn't make a direct threat. Just 4 words that told the whole world exactly how he felt about the system handing that verdict. Now flash forward to this clip. A voice, the streets say it's Ghosn, sitting back and asking why nobody's talking about a shootout at Glock's release party. And then dropping that line about Glock's lyrics being G14 classified. Top secret. That's not casual conversation. That's a man positioning himself as someone who knows what's being said about him on wax. Someone treating Glock's album like coded intelligence only certain people can decode. Given that Glock publicly said "My city failed" the day this man walked free, the subtext writes itself. This is 2 figures on opposite ends of the bloodiest case Memphis rap has ever lived through, and one of them just got on camera being cryptic about the other one's party getting shot up. That's why it's spreading. Not because of a confirmed body, because of the psychology of it. Because the man asking the question is the man a whole city believes had blood on his hands, even if a jury said different. When he asks, "Why ain't nobody talking about it?" with that energy in his voice, every person watching fills in the blank with their own worst fear. The timing makes it hit even harder. Key Glock is at the peak of his career right now. Project X drops June 19th. He launched his own record label this summer, built specifically to carry Dolph's legacy forward and put on the next wave of Memphis artists, doing exactly what Dolph did for him. He's doing fashion deals, headlining the Glock tour, packing venues. A man finally turning grief into empire. And right at that peak, here come the cryptic clips. Here come the fake shooting stories, because this isn't even the first one. A month ago, a clickbait YouTube video titled like a breaking news alert claimed Glock got gunned down in South Memphis, racked up tens of thousands of views overnight, and it was a complete lie. The man was posting music on his story hours before the rumor caught fire. That's the pattern. Glock is trying to build a new chapter, new label, new album, the legacy play, and the internet keeps trying to drag him back into the body count narrative. Here's the thing about a man acquitted in a murder trial. Double jeopardy means he can't be tried again on those charges. So if that's Ghosn on that clip, he can speak in riddles, post cryptic questions, and smirk, and there's nothing a courtroom can do about it. That's a specific kind of power, the power to haunt a situation you were acquitted in. The power to make a grieving cousin's biggest moment about your question instead of his album. So here's the real question to sit with. Who does this clip serve? A question asked the right way by the right man at the right time does more damage than a press release. And the fact that he can post 15 words and send the whole internet spinning without confirming a single fact tells you exactly where the power sits right now. It's not in the courtroom, it's in the timeline. Glock's answer has been the only one that actually matters. He kept building. New album, new label. Dolph's name carried the right way. When they expect you to react, you build. When they want you scared, you ship. The clip is real. The man is real. The history is real and it's covered in blood. The shooting still unconfirmed. I'll update you the second a real report says different. Not before. Don't let nobody sell you a casket that ain't been confirmed. Drop a comment. You think that's really going on that clip? And if it is, what's he actually saying?